Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to another video. I'm your host, Oguzet, and today we're going to talk about Black Friday. Yes, it's coming. It's about 2 weeks from now. Why not have a look at PC builds that you can potentially achieve with the low price of Black Friday and a couple of equipment for live streaming. Are you ready? Grab your cuppa, find a comfy seat. Let's do this.
So this first build is dedicated to gamers and live streamers. You'll be able to easily live stream and maybe cut some shorts to put on your YouTube channel or TikTok channel. For the motherboard, I've chosen the Asus ROG Strix B76i for two main reasons. It's a small form factor. That way you can choose a smaller case to go along with it, and you can bring your PC to your LAN parties. That's how you do it. And the second reason is because it's got PCIe 5.0. In normal terms, it means that even with the future generation GPUs and cards that go into the bottom slot, you'll be able to run at fast speeds. That is all that it means. Also, don't worry too much about the pricing because, as mentioned earlier, Black Friday is coming, so most of these prices will be different, very, very different, lower. Obviously. For the CPU, Intel Core i5 3600K, latest generation CPU, and is great for gamers because entry level price point. If you want to save a few bucks, do not get the K version, get the one without the K. But if you see the F version, run away. KF or F, run away. The difference is you don't have integrated graphics if you get an F. The integrated graphics in the CPU helps rendering. For liquid cooling, we're going with the Thermalright Frozen Prism 240. The reason why I chose this is because A, it looks good. Two, it's got PWM fans. What it means is the speed of the fans can change based on the settings, and also a 240 millimeter, because most likely you will either have to sacrifice the liquid cooler or the power supply or your GPU, because we're going to have a look at the smaller form factor case as well. And in this case, with the 3600K, you can easily cool it with this AIO, with this liquid cooler. As far as RAM, we go Team Group T-Create Classic. I really, really like them. They're small, they are low profile. So even if you're slightly beefier liquid cooler, you'll be able to fit everything in the case, no worries. When it comes to hard drive, I could tell you, oh yeah, let's go get some rush drives and M.2. I learned this on my own skin. It's just easier to get those NVMe that they slide into the motherboard and they have 7 anymore. So you save cables, you have less mess, and they have better performance. Because the reason why I chose this is because you have up to 5,000 megabytes of reading and 4.5 thousand megabytes per second writing. So it's a very fast hard drive. Yes, a lot of people will tell you that it doesn't really matter because the game will not run any faster. What I can say is, let's say one of your hard drives blew and you got to copy your games from one hard drive to the other. You will see the difference when you have one of them because they a lot faster. When it comes to GPU, I know you're waiting for this. What I pick is a 4070 PNY Accelerate Gaming Vitro Epic X RGB. It's a very, very long name. The reason why I chose this GPU is because it's one of the cheapest one on the market, but it's really, really good. It's based on the schematics on the Founder Edition. So it will be very, very close to the original one. Power supply, guys, please do not chip out on the power supply. If it's not gold, I want to say don't buy. Fully modular is a perk. What it means is you don't have all the cables stuck to the GPU. So you can choose the cable that you put in, mostly with a smaller case. You want to be able to have as much space as possible. So this is an SFX power supply, which is a smaller form factor because we'll be going with the smaller form factor case as well. Mostly because the case is small, but even if it was big, That's what I do usually. I always go for the fully modular ones, Gold Plus. I will tell them why. Because you would only plug in the cables that you need, so you don't have a lot of cable management to a lot of mess inside your case. What 80 plus gold means is the power efficiency. So at least 80% of the current or the electricity that goes inside the power supply gets used. It doesn't get dispersed. At the minimum, you want to have a gold. If you have a slightly larger budget, I will highly recommend to go platinum or titanium. Titanium is at the time that I'm recording this video is the most power efficient set of power supplies. And then you got platinum, then gold. But gold is the minimum. Do not chip out on the power supply. Also, because of the case that we go with, I will highly recommend to get this 2-pack of fans, 120 millimeter fans. If you do want some RGB, I'm not a big fan, but I got you covered. If you want RGB, you have a 3-pack here. So the case comes with 1 fan at the back, but you can easily replace it with one of them because you got 2 at the front and 1 at the back. And this is what it will look like. If you like RGBs, be my guest. I'm not a big fan, but I thought I would cover you too, eh? And then the case that we're going with is the Cooler Master Master Box. Cooler Master Box, Jesus. Cooler Master Box Q300L. Why did I choose this? Because A is small. It's got dust filters at the top and at the bottom that they look kind of cool, but I really, really love this. On the side panel, you have 2 3.0 ports. You have the power button and you have headphones jack and microphone jack, and then you get the reset button. But it just looks so cool. And the actual glass, you can move it however you want. I don't know if it shows it here, but you can have the ports either on the side or at the bottom or at the top. It's so good. And those are the clearances. So when I come up with the power list, I took in consideration as well the sizes, so you'll be able to easily fit the 4070 PNY. How about now we do the parts for the Creator PC? And now for the Creator side of the build, we have an i7 3700K. If you do want to stay low budget, if you do have a bit of extra budget, I highly recommend the 3900K, i9 3900K for the simple reason that it's just more powerful. And if you're editing, if you're doing anything 3D, you can use those extra cores. Let's look at the motherboard. For the motherboard, we have the Z790 Pro Art. I don't know if you ever heard of this motherboard. This motherboard, yes, it is expensive, but it comes with 3 months of free Adobe cloud subscription. So you can use Premiere Pro, you can use Photoshop, all those programs for 3 months for free. And that brings the cost right down. There is also one main reason why, other than the Adobe subscription. Back panel, you have a 10 gigabits LAN and a 2.5 gigabits LAN. Most creators nowadays, they have NAS or content that is connected via Ethernet, and be able to use a 10 gigabit per second connection. It will make your workflow a lot faster. And also you have a lot of ports to plug in a lot of devices. You got Wi-Fi 6E as well. When we're looking at, now when it comes to cooling, we still stick with the Mirai because it's a small brand, true. It's a small brand, true. And it's fairly new as well, but it doesn't need to be expensive. As long as it works, as long as the fans are PWM, we just spoke about them earlier, and it looks fairly all right, as long as it cools hot CPUs like 3700Ks and 3900Ks, that's all that matters. Suggestion, this goes as well for gamer build. If you're willing to invest another $8 to $10 into your build, but I will highly recommend as well this. If you've never seen it before, this is a CPU contact frame. When you put your CPU into the motherboard, you have this cage, metal cage on top of the CPU. You remove that and you use this one instead. That will make it flat. So we make the whole surface flat. It's just to slightly increase the cooling capacity. With the RAMs, we go with the same ones that we had a look at before. The Team Group T-Create 2 by 16 gigabytes. But in this case, our motherboard can support 4 slots of DDR5. So I will highly recommend to get 2 packs and not one for a total of 64 gigabytes of RAM, and you will use them. If you use video editing, photo editing softwares, you will use a lot more RAM. And being a low profile, you can have a beefier cooler. If you don't want to go with the Thermalright, there are a lot of more beefier coolers, and it's 6,000 megahertz speed, so plenty fast. When it comes to SSD, because we are creators, we know that storage speed is very important. It's also highly recommended to have project on different hard drives to improve the speed, and so the computer doesn't struggle when you have to render, when you have to edit. And I've been using this hard drive for 4 years now. Lexa SSD, 2 terabytes. I have the exact same one, and the reason why I chose it is because it's faster than most of the other SSDs of the same price point, because you can read up to 7,400 megabytes per second and write at 6,500. When you're moving large files, mostly as creators, because we have 4K footage, even if it's just 1080p footage, are big files. So having faster speeds, SSD or hard drives, it makes our life a lot easier. For the graphics card, we go with the RTX 4080 Founder Edition. You don't have to get the Founder Edition, but when you're a creator, you just need a reliable graphics card. And you can be sure with the Founder Edition that you have the most reliable one, because NVIDIA is a company that makes the graphics card. It's not aftermarket, it's stock. With the power supply, we go with the Be Quiet this time, 80 plus Platinum, a ATX 3.0. I chose this one because we're gonna go now with an full ATX case, so we can have a slightly bigger power supply, and because it's platinum, it's more power efficient. Same as gamers, as content creators, we spend a lot of time on the computer. So I want to make sure that we don't get killed when the power bills comes to our door. And also, the fact that it's the ATX 3.0, what it means is it's ready for the 40 series graphics card with the connections. And with the case, I picked the Fractal Design Note A. It looks fantastic. It looks like a piece of furniture. We are creators, we like things proper, and I think this is by far one of the best cases that I've ever seen. And as you can see, you got the mesh panel on the side, so your computer can breathe, and it just looks so good. And it also comes with 240 millimeter fans that will be at the front, and I will highly recommend as well just to get a cheap 120 fans to put at the back of the case right here. It just makes the case more airy. Last but not least, because we are creators and live streamers, I want to have a look at the mic and a set of lights and the camera for this Black Friday. And the mic that I'm going to recommend is actually the one that I'm using right now. That's my microphone, the Fifine Dynamic Microphone XLR USB, for one reason. This microphone can grow with you because it's both USB and XLR. So when you're first starting out, you can just use the USB, connect it to the computer, and you're off to the races. With Sonar, if you know what Sonar is and you want me to make a video about it, just leave it down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do a video only on Sonar, on how to use it. Is a audio management system for your computer, aka your live stream. When you get a bit more into the content creation space and you want to upgrade, you also have the XLR port, this one at the back that you can see, and you can connect it to any device that supports XLR. So when it comes to lights, no, I'm not gonna recommend the Elgato key lights. I think they're a bit overrated. I'm gonna make a video about it as well, because yes, I am using the Elgato key lights. I got 1 and 2, but I'm upgrading to actually this that I'm going to recommend to you guys, which is the Aputure Amaran 60XS. S is the smaller version. As you can see, it's tiny. And the reason why is this is a cop light. So it's a very, very powerful light. You can match it with something like this, which is a softbox. You don't have to get right this one. There are better ones like this one, or I highly recommend this instead. That is very easy to build, by the way. You just have to put it through and it does itself. And then with a Amazon or any light stand, you have the light stand. And they also have an app where you can change the power of the light, the temperature, or you can change it directly from the actual device as well. I don't know if you can see here, it's got a small screen and you can control all the lights from there. And the last thing that I want to talk about is camera. I've recommended the Elgato Facecam for a long time, even the 4K, but I think they're all missing one point. Most live streamers, they want the maximum quality possible and the possibility to do shorts. That's why my camera choice for upgrade is the Insta360. 4K resolution. It's got noise cancelling microphone, 2 of them at the front, but also what's so special about this is the PTZ, which means that it can track you, so it moves with you. And also it's got one feature that no other webcam has. It's called streamer mode. You see how the camera is horizontal? It can just flip vertical and you can make shorts just with the same webcam that you do the rest of your content. This is the main reason why I recommend it for this Black Friday, because it's a game changer for all the streamers and content creators, gaming content creators. So what are we thinking, ladies and gents? You find any surprise? If you did, don't forget to leave a comment down below, or just leave it anyway, even with your favorite emoji. It helps a lot myself. It helps the channel because it helps engagement. While you're down there, don't forget to pop the like button. That way YouTube will share this video a lot more. And yeah, guys, until next fortnight, happy creating.